This is Madro John Madden. They call me Juanito in Mexico. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and magic was afoot all through Asheville. And some creatures are stirring, but it's actually very calm and very warm, extremely warm. And I am sitting on the courthouse steps, the old courthouse, at the west end of Battery Park Avenue. And isn't that beautiful? I've never sat here before. I have a lot of favorite places to have a smoke, but this was great. And you can see the lights at the top of the Eris Hotel. Probably not. From this angle, probably not. But I went to Ingalls on Tunnel Road to cash my $100 paycheck for the 2 shifts of bell ringing I did for the Salvation Army. And after buying a whole lot of groceries, 3 bags of groceries, I had $65 left. So I got off the bus at Pritchard Park, and I was reserved to be in a workshop, a meet-up workshop on journal writing at Sweets and Seats on Patton Avenue. And looked in, I got there right exactly on time at 6 o'clock. And for some reason, something said, no, don't go. So I didn't go, and I felt good. I thought, I'll go down to Jack of the Wood, which I love. I'm going to buy me a good beer, because so often I don't have the money for it. So I went down to Jack of the Wood, and they're closed on Tuesday. Horrible, that's terrible. So I hatched a plan. I said, I need cigarettes. I'll go up on Wall Street, and the people at the Wall Street market are so sweet. I love those people. And I'll get my pack of cigarettes, and I'll get a beer. I'll get a good beer, and I'll go over to the Asheville Forager on Wall Street because I like Pat a lot, and it's a big, beautiful room, great windows. And yesterday he let me sit there for a while, even though I had no money to spend. So I'll do that. I'll buy a great sandwich or some other food there. So I stopped at the Wall Street Market. They didn't have any good beer. No beer that worked for me, so that's bad, right? But I got a beautiful Mexico Coke and Cristal and glass and my pack of cigarettes. And got to meet a terrific woman there that I had only seen before and never chatted with, Lynette, who was so gentle and so sweet and so helpful. And she helped me think about where else I could get a beer, and I could go over to the Forager. So that's great. So then I went down to the Forager in that direction, and I stood in the front doorway of the third room music place, which is the old Jubilee Church where I went to church for 16 years. And we sure never got to smoke in the front doorway, but there was nothing going on. We always had to go across Wall Street to the spot by the parking lot where the big red dumpster is now. But I stood right in the doorway of the old Jubilee Church, and that was exciting. And because I was smoking and standing there, a woman came by pushing a cart, and she had a sign I couldn't read in the dark, and she read it to me, and it said she had some kind of physical condition and needed help. So I got to give her some money, which was great, and it made her super happy because she said, I stopped and gave something to this homeless guy down the street, and because of that, this happened. So that made her happy. This car's making a terrible racket. Oh no, it's the motorcycle. I apologize, Mr. Carr. I accused you wrongly. And she wanted to give me a baby Jesus in exchange, but she couldn't find it in her stuff, and she said, I have OCD, I have to find it. And I said, maybe you could just breathe and trust that you will see me again and you can give me baby Jesus after he's already born, or whatever that is. So she relaxed, and that was great. So then I decided not to go to the Forager because I actually had a lot of food with me. and I could just go back to the Salvation Army shelter where I live and have the food there. Well, then I think I've lost the track of the night before Christmas, but we're winging it here. Because of all that, as I was going by the market, some person yelled at me, "Did you forget something?" I thought, oh God, I have to do something with another homeless person. And it turned out to be Lynette, who was out for a smoke break. And that was maybe the most amazing thing of the day. We had a beautiful visit, and she's just as great as I thought she was. And she gave me the last half of her organic, home-ground, home-rolled cigarette, which was really great. And I got to point out to her the little sliver of moon. And she gave me a hug, which was, then I was over the moon. Then this cow jumped over, I don't know, sorry. That was super, super, super great. And then because, and she also had given me this wonderful bag, because my 3 Ingalls bags weren't working so great, and I have 2 bags in the white bag. So then I got up here, and my hands were hurting from the grocery bags. I took a break here, and it's so calm. My coat is open, my coat closed, and because I was sitting here, I got the brilliant idea to shoot this video, and you can decide whether it's brilliant or not. And then this car came along and hit me, jumped out of control, and then I think that I went into such a hypnotic state doing this that somebody stole my groceries. I already showed you the groceries. Okay. I flunked story writing in high school. I just say some shit. So it's the night before Christmas, and it's very peaceful and very happy for me, and I hope it is for you. And if you don't see this on the night before Christmas, then you'd probably have a lousy day, right? Ask yourself, would my day have been better? Oh God. Okay. Bye. Merry Christmas. Hope you see this before Christmas. Or, it's not important whether you see it or not, really. Bye.